Hey math teachers, I want to take a second to talk to you about the changes on thinking blocks. If you've never used thinking blocks before, they are a really awesome tool to use for problem solving where the kids can model the problems in bar diagrams. If you have used thinking blocks before and you've gone to it this year, you've probably noticed that it looks a little bit different. So the way to get to thinking blocks is to go to mathplayground.com. And as you'll see, Math Playground has a ton of things. I'm not going to focus on those today though. And you'll go down to Solve It Thinking Blocks and you click on that and you can actually bookmark this link up here. And so that your kids don't have to find thinking blocks, they can just automatically go to it. And this is where it starts looking different. This is not how it looked last year. It looked more kind of like this, but they've changed it to make it more of like a game for kids or like a challenge, like get all of these things and then you can do this. So I think it's kind of fun, but the actual program is still much the same. So Thinking Blocks Junior, I'm just going to click on that for just a second, is the same as addition and subtraction thinking blocks, but if you'll look down here, it tells you that it's best for grades 1 through 2. Used to, you could pull it up and you could tell it, I want to do numbers 1 through 20 or do problems with numbers 1 through 300. They don't have that option anymore, but this would be great for the smaller numbers and they are doing addition and subtraction. So if I go back and I click on Thinking Blocks Addition, this is addition and subtraction. This is multiplication and division, fractions, and ratios. And we'll talk about this one in just a second. But any of them that you click on, you can scroll down to the bottom and see what their suggested grade is for. And it says Common Core, but you can read the description and see what it does. And it matches things that we do. And then it works just like normal thinking blocks. So this one's telling them that they need to visit all 8 planets and collect these postcards and help your team win. So when you click on the arrow, you will see the same 8 things that you saw on the old model, which actually if you scroll down, you can click on previous thinking blocks model and you'll see this is what it looked like. They still have the tutorials and I'll show you where those are in just a second. So if I go back to my little one here and click on the arrow, what happens is the same thing. So I can click on this and I have my problem up here. And for those of you that have never used thinking blocks, it's really neat because you label the bar diagram and it will not let kids move on until they've labeled it correctly. And it has the directions down here for them and it'll even read the problem aloud. So like this problem, Abby had some markers. She gave 37 markers to her younger brothers. Abby then had 10 markers. How many markers did she have at first? So they have amount at first, which would be my total, amount left over, amount given away. You put your 2 blocks for your parts, check. And then I'm going to fill in, I don't know my total. I know that she had 10 markers left and she gave 37. It resizes the bars so that they can think about the different parts, especially if it was a subtraction problem. And now I know I'm looking for my total, so I'm going to add these up. I type in my number here. You can draw on the screen if you want. To like, if they wanted to solve, I usually had my kids write on a whiteboard or on a piece of paper though. And then they click check. And as you get them correct, you get stars down here. You can continue practicing after the 5, which wasn't always the case in the old model. So I do like that. But once they've done 5 correct, they get all 5 stars and they'll earn that postcard. You can refresh it. Yes. And it takes all the stars away. And then they can move on to the next one. And these get into 3 steps and harder versions. So if I go back, I will show you the videos. So these were our problems, our different kinds of thinking blocks. And if I scroll down, these are the instructional videos. They used to be a little bit longer and kind of boring, but they are good to show the kids how to use them. So like if I click on this video, and I'm not going to show it all right now, but it will go through and model what to do with the thinking blocks for each different activity. So like if you're doing a 2-step problem with thinking blocks for the first time, you might want to do one of these videos to show them exactly how they're supposed to use the thinking blocks. This thinking blocks tool doesn't have problems. you can use it. Your kids can use it. Like if you give them a problem and they want to use it to help them model the problem, they can use this. I haven't played around with it too much yet, but I will continue to play around with it a little bit so that I can help you use this tool if you're interested in your classroom. So hopefully that helps you kind of navigate the different new thinking blocks. They have discontinued, as it says here, the iPad apps for now because I think they're probably trying to update them to this new version. So you can still do it on the computer, just not on the iPads. So if you have any questions, please just don't hesitate to email and I can help you out. But again, love thinking blocks, really helps kids model problems with bar diagrams. This is a great technology station.